Secretly in the works, we have the BuzzBot, but that's hush hush.
So right now we have a like crude progression system that doesn't do anything in there. It's just like levels for the sake of levels, and we have a big flag on it that says this is gonna be reset, because the idea is that one of the first major patches we put out, we're gonna add more guns and we're gonna revamp the progression system to unlock those guns. That's coming, but just before you get excited, the guns you unlock will be different to your taste, not better than the ones you currently have. There's nothing I hate more in games than it's like, oh, you start with this like crap gun, and then if you play for 10 hours, in addition to having 10 hours experience, you get this awesome gun that destroys the crap gun. It's like, no, it should be a different gun. Like, so instead of a revolver that has 6 shots and does X amount of damage, you have a revolver that has 4 shots. You'll have to reload it more often, but it does a little more firepower, so you can kind of play with your tastes. Look at all this smart looking stuff I've got going on. Let's hope it really is. So here's the idea. By default, every sound you put just gets played into the headphone at whatever volume you have the sound at, and it kind of works. A lot of feedback right now is that the VoIP is too quiet. Now, in sound design you hear that a lot. You hear like, hey, this is too quiet, turn it up louder. But what that means, things have like a maximum volume that they can be at, just like in video there's a maximum brightness. And so what it really means is you gotta turn everything else down. But if we turned everything else down across the board, then it'd be like, well, that stuff's too quiet. So what we are doing is when signal comes in on the VoIP, it automatically ducks, like lowers the volume of the music and the sound effects. So VoIP is like priority number 1. Like number 1 priority is we want people to be able to understand what other people are saying. For the first time, every single player has a mic. So in a perfect world, whispering would all come at the same relative volume versus yelling. So if someone's like a loud talker in real life, they'd be a loud talker in VR. And then beyond that, we get a little fancier, like explosions can only be so loud, and so explosions, we have when an explosion goes off, it ducks out the volume of everything else to make the explosion sound louder and bigger without actually being louder and bigger. If you're on a riding lawnmower and someone else is driving the same riding lawnmower and comes up behind you, there's no way in hell you'll ever be able to hear them. But in hover junkers, we kind of want to be able to hear them because we want you to be able to know, like, hey, there's a shit behind me. So the only way to do that is to have it so that the volume of their lawnmower, hover junker, actually turns down the volume of yours subtly so that you hear them coming up behind you. We have the mixer all built. We just have to wire up all the sounds into it and then start dicking around with levels every patch for the next 10 patches. So what are you doing here?
Hopefully doing a sound effect, or doing sound effects to make one sound. A grenade launcher. I have a air cannon, 1-inch PVC pipe, a Nerf gun, and a Nerf baseball bat. You need a sound of a pipe where the grenade goes into the pipe. You need the sound of it clinking or landing into position, which is a mix of the bat and the gun. The bat and this guy are pretty much the same sound, different frequencies. So getting extreme and then merging them into the middle should make something interesting. And then the pipe, as what it sounds like, is a pipe. Yeah, that's my thought. That's as many sounds I can get out of this.